I've made many of the cocktails from the Tropical Standard book. I think there are 17 videos in the playlist with just the Tropical Standard book, and that's cocktails or syrups. But I haven't made any frozen cocktails, not even one. And today, I'm also not gonna make one either because I wanna make two, and then I'm gonna serve them in the same glass. Because what do you get when you combine a strawberry daiquiri and a pina colada? Well, you get yourself the Miami Vice. So the question that no one is asking is, where did this drink even come from? Well, no one knows exactly, but the show Miami Vice came out in 1984, and it took the nation by storm, the world really. I don't know. I was but a newborn baby, just a couple weeks old, when Don Johnson burst onto the scene wearing a white blazer driving a Ferrari Testarossa. Now, a few years later, by 1987, a drink called the Miami Vice Cooler is being served, along with some tennis, at Flushing Meadows for the 1987 US Open. Now, I don't have any solid evidence of how the drink was first created, but I would bet my life on this hypothesis. Here's how the Miami Vice was created. There was a bar somewhere, and that bar had a slushie machine. Not just any slushie machine, but a machine with two hoppers. One side had a pina colada and the other had a strawberry daiquiri. Now, we may never know what savant was the first to ask what would happen if we put a little bit of this with a little bit of that, but someone did, and the Miami Vice was born. Now, there was another news story that came out in 1987, just one day before that other story, that said the Miami Vice Cooler was a drink that was a marriage of a strawberry daiquiri and a margarita. So that may have been the first Miami Vice Cooler, we don't really know. It is entirely possible that Flushing Meadows had a 3-hopper slushie machine. In that case, the combination of drinks they could make would be endless. Actually, I think it's exactly 7 drinks. I'm not entirely sure. But enough of the history. Here's what you'll need for these drinks today. For the Tropical Standard Strawberry Daiquiri, you'll need salt solution, frozen strawberries, sugar mix, that's a half turbinado, half cane sugar mix, lime juice, Charanda or Uruapan Blanco rum, and some xanthan gum. Now, we are making 2 cocktails, so for the pina colada, you'll need a saline solution, Angostura bitters, frozen pineapple chunks, pineapple juice that's been acid adjusted to lime juice, coconut mix, scarlet ibis rum, and xanthan gum. All right, in this episode's description, I'll have instructions on how to do all of this. Everything will be called out exactly with the correct measurements or grams. For the acid adjusted pineapple juice, I'll have instructions for that. And for the coconut mix, it's a mix of Coco Lopez and coconut milk, and there's exact grams. It's 425 grams of Coco Lopez and 142 grams of coconut milk. 425 grams of Coco Lopez is exactly 1 can. So what we're doing is we're just adding some coconut milk to kind of lower the sugar content of the Coco Lopez, but keep that Coco Lopez flavor. So I'm not gonna use 2 blenders, I'm gonna use 1. So I'm gonna make our first drink, and then I'm gonna pour it into a drink mixer tin and then make the second. So let's get started with the strawberry daiquiri. Start with 5 drops of a saline solution, 60 grams of frozen strawberries, 1 tablespoon of the sugar mix. So I'm just using half a tablespoon of turbinado and half a tablespoon of cane sugar, 3/4 ounces of lime juice, 2 ounces of our Charanda or Uruapan Blanco rum, we're gonna start by blending everything except for the xanthan gum. Once the sugar's incorporated, add in the xanthan gum as the blender's spinning. Finally, I'm gonna add in 170 grams of crushed or nugget ice, and I am weighing it. All right, so for our pina colada, you're gonna start with 5 drops of the saline solution, 2 dashes of Angostura bitters, 60 grams of frozen pineapple chunks, half an ounce of pineapple juice that's been acid adjusted to lime, 1.5 ounces of our coconut mix, 1.5 ounces of scarlet ibis rum. Like the last drink, we're gonna blend everything except the xanthan gum. We're gonna add in our xanthan gum, and finally we're gonna add in 170 grams of crushed or nugget mix. I'm gonna take a couple pineapple fronds and I'm gonna cut off the bottom of them. So there you go, the unofficial Miami Vice from the Tropical Standard book. All right, a fair level of absurdity with this one. It doesn't get any more tropical than this, doesn't get any more resort-like than this. It also doesn't get any more advanced than this. This has got to be the most advanced Miami Vice that's ever been made. So let's try it. So that pina colada is, it's fantastic. It's, most pina coladas are too sweet, and this one is sweet. Like, it's on that side of balance where it's a little sweet, but that's what you want in a pina colada. And it has a lot more of that like pure like rum pineapple juice flavor, because we're not using any lime juice to add that lime flavor. And that strawberry daiquiri, it has an unmistakable strawberry daiquiri flavor, but using those Mexican style rums in this, it adds just this unique complexity that you're only getting from those style of rums. Now, I don't know if you're gonna think that them combined together are better than them on their own, but I did taste them some spoonfuls before I put them together. And the strawberry daiquiri, probably depends on your strawberries, but it kind of leans, I don't want to say it's dry. It's just like, it's not right in the middle of balance. Like you would think a strawberry daiquiri might be a little sweet or too sweet, and it's not. And then the pina colada, it's not too sweet, but it is sweeter than the strawberry daiquiri. So when you kind of mix those together, you're kind of right in the middle on sweetness there. It's definitely nothing as sweet as you'll get at a pool bar at a hotel. But if you want to make that style drink at home, that's not too sugary, and you're gonna have, great spirits, great ingredients, everything is balanced and everything plays together so well. You're gonna be hard pressed to find a more fun drink to make than combining the Tropical Standard strawberry daiquiri and the pina colada into the Miami Vice. I'm very curious to see how many of you will actually make this. I think that number's, it's gonna be pretty small. But if you think you're gonna make it or you do make it, let me know in the comments below. And if you're on Instagram, then tag me on Instagram. I'll put my Instagram handle here. And then make sure you tag the guys from Tropical Standard. You could tag the Tropical Standard book, or Garrett Richard, or Ben Schaefer. Show them what you've made here. It's fun. And when it comes to blender drinks, I think it's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to have fun with these things. I didn't explain this, but if you're wondering why add xanthan gum, and if you really need it, you don't have to have it, but the xanthan gum is going to keep your drink emulsified together, or I don't know, homogenized. It's a stabilizer, I guess. And what it does is it keeps the ice and everything else together. And the best way to think about this, if you've ever gone to Starbucks and got a Frappuccino, a blended drink, you'll notice that they stay consistent throughout your whole drink. If you try to make that at home without xanthan gum, then your drink separates and you kind of have a icy mix on the top and water on the bottom. Xanthan gum solves that problem, but you want to make sure you follow directions. If you use too much xanthan gum, it turns into a gluey mess. I'll share one little last hack with you. It's something I did a long time ago, and I haven't done it. I haven't done it in a long time either. But you go to Costco, you get yourself one of those tall, I don't know if they're 2-liter bottles of Kirkland Signature Gold Margarita Mix. Put that in your blender that already has the tequila in it with some ice and some xanthan gum, and you'll get yourself a slushy style margarita on the cheap. You probably want to add a little more tequila to those though, if you want to make them like extra good. And that kind of explains a lot of the differences between me and the Tropical Standard book. I use xanthan gum to make Kirkland Signature Gold Margarita Mix. They use xanthan gum to make the best version of that cocktail ever. So that's it for this one. I'm Derek, this is Make and Drink. If you want to support this channel more, check out the Patreon page. Otherwise, just give this video a like below, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.